those of you who can't be bothered to watch a 20-minute long video to hone a skill that will improve your life and your life's work, I'm going to do a quick Cliff Notes sort of version of dialing in the compressor. So we're going to isolate our snare drum here. We're going to pull up the delightful Arouser plugin, which gives us pretty robust control over attack and release. And our method for going through this to dial it in and sort of work on an exercise towards hearing it more easily looks a little something like this. Start with the fastest attack and release. Give yourself a nice high ratio and aim for a pretty large amount of compression. All right, so 16 dB. We're gonna back off the attack time until the transient starts to sound in a way that we like it. That's very subjective, and you will develop a sensibility around this as you improve your skills. But in the meantime, just listen for the changes in the character and texture of the transient. So I find right around this spot a more pronounced transient right in this earliest section here versus here. Starting to get a little bit more of that, slowing it down. Getting more and more. As we get to right about here, it almost starts to sound kind of like the whole transient's nearly getting through. And as we get even slower, we're getting the full transient, and we can even exaggerate that transient by getting more compression to take place. So quick A/B on that. All right, notice the very exaggerated transient. I'm gonna set this somewhere more in the middle where I like it. We don't need it to be hitting quite as hard. And now we're going to tune a release time that is gonna help reinforce the groove of the song. And that can be in a couple different places. Again, this is subjective. This depends on your aesthetic. You get to choose, you're the boss. But for now, we're just going to listen to the different settings. I feel like that's gives a little bit of like a 16th note kind of release, right? We can slow it down further and look for maybe more of an 8th note. It seems to live somewhere around there. Slow it down even further. And there's a quarter note thereabouts, and as we go slower than that, we'll feel like the drums really start to drag. They're getting bogged down. They're not all that musical. So we're gonna speed this release control back up and look for a spot that's groovy. Pretty good. That seems to be pretty good. Bypass. Okay, now I'm compressing more than I want to, so my options are to either turn down the input or to turn down the ratio. We'll select a lower ratio to start. And I'm also going to turn down the input. Okay, we'll bypass that. Back in. Notice how the groove is a little bit improved. Out. In. In context. Out. In. Gives you that little bit of swagger. And that is the quick and dirty version of the lengthy video I posted earlier. Hope that helps.